Happy New Year. 2026 starts with another double run week.
But before we go there, let's see how the year ended. So last round, Credit Bank is here. We can see the guard position. Over performance, we can see some very interesting names. Let's start with the one on the top, Kendrick Nunn, amazing game, followed up also by another great game, I think 27 points also in the domestic league this weekend. So extremely expensive, but if you're going for something above the 15 credits potentially, he seems to be on the best form right now. Then the second player we see here is Baldwin, also on a great form, playing at home the next game, and potentially looking at what else we could have in similar credit here. So we could have Weller Bab, or we could have Hiffy, we could have De Colo and Dorsey. We would probably prefer Baldwin. Originally we would go with De Colo, but this Euroleague legend is now moving teams and getting back to his older team, Fenerbahce, so he might not get these 25 plus fantasy points we used from him this year. He will still continue to be top quality, but perhaps we expect a drop on his fantasy points due to different users on Sarah's team. And then from this list also we have Watson with 11.1 credits. Also this is connected with De Colo's move. He's also coming back from a great game, so we think it's a very decent option going into this New Year's. On the list on the right hand side, with players lost value during last week, we looking at a deep value option with La Provitola, just 8.6 credits, an off game. It was an off game, to be honest, for all the team versus Monaco, but he bounced back with a great game in El Clasico in ACB, so we think he's a very decent option. And with that, let's move on to forward position. Here we have Lucic playing very well, the captain of Bayer, now with a new coach. They've been together with Pesic also in the national team in the past, and he seems, is trusting, Pesic is trusting Lucic to lead the team at the forward position, and this is a pick less than 10 credits or about 10 credits, so we like this pick. Also very interesting other picks around that credit is Nyang. Perhaps we've put a question mark there because he's not been very consistent, but it might be a chance for him to put on back-to-back good performances. And Zalo, that he had a very good game, also another Virtus player here to look at, around 9 credits. Now on the right hand side we do have a couple of good names with high valuations. The highlight is really Seals with 13.3, lost a lot of value, but if we think about other alternatives, perhaps you could view on the left hand side on the list we have Nora. So we think maybe safer option than going to Seals, or even with less credits, 12.8 if I remember correct, we have Luau Cabarro that we'll prefer over Seals. Then Taylor is an interesting one to keep an eye because he's having a very decent season fantasy wise. He had an off game, maybe now he's starting to get cheap again, so we keep an eye on him. Moving into center position, here we have an option below the 8 credits, 7.5. McCormack, again with a new coach at Bayer, things and usage in the roster changes a little bit, so it's a very good option below the 8 credits. Close to that, we also have other good players like Ndiaye and Hayes in this list, also quite good. And from the values above the 10 credits, we have Nibo, coming off a good game and also playing against Panathinaikos in the next round, so he has a chance to continue this high fantasy points results. On the other hand, we would usually go with Milutinov, but he's uncertain due to a light injury on his knee. So just due to this fact, we are not highlighting here, but obviously if he's clean and green, he has a green light to play, it is a great option. Nothing major when looking at the players that they lost a lot of value. So we actually think we're gonna stick with the players here on the left hand side with low value if we wanna get something cheap like Hazen and Ndiaye or McCormack. So with that, let's move on then to our results from the last round.
Yeah, and as you see, we managed to get 163.4 fantasy points, basically because we picked up Ndiaye, a very good pickup. He gave us 17.6 fantasy points, and Milutinov as captain gave us 59.4 fantasy points. So great performance from our senders. Then also Coach Martinez with 20 fantasy points. Another big victory for Valencia, and the importance of choosing the coach, let's say the correct coach, is really important. And also, as you see, Luvavuka Baro, 22 fantasy points. He is one of the best performers this season. Horton Tucker and Wright gave us more or less 16 fantasy points each. So we're satisfied with the guards that we have. Horde with just 12 fantasy points. We have to see what is going to happen for around 20. Similarly to Taylor and Osmani, they are not performing to their best at the moment. Hazer and Yule are just fillers from the team. Overall, we have to anticipate how many and which players we will change. Basically, Milutinov is, as Bill said, uncertain. Horde didn't perform, so we shall see later on. But first, let's see the coach selection for round 20.
We are going with Xavi Pascual. As I mentioned earlier, the Barça won the El Clásico versus Real, and yes, they had a bad game at home versus Monaco in the last round of Euroleague, but the matchup is a great chance, and the momentum they get also from El Clásico is a great chance for them to get back on the winning ways. It's just 7.4 credits, so it's not the most expensive, neither the cheapest option, but a very middle range option we are going with for round 20. But now we know about the coach, let's see what else changed in our team.
And as you see, and Bill said, we have Xavi Pascual as our captain, as our coach, for round 20. But you see, we didn't want to risk it with Nikola Milutinov for this round, and we brought in Nibo. Nibo is in good form recently for Armani, and playing versus Panathinaikos, he can still give us some fantasy points playing a dominant game from the paint. But the most important trades that we made in this round is we managed to bring Vezankov and Nan, both of them top tier players. You see, I think the most expensive guard with the most expensive forward, if I'm not mistaken. We thanked Wright for his contribution. What a season for Wright. And also Horde, just 12 fantasy points last round. So we didn't want to risk it, let's say, more. So we managed to bring these three players, and we kept Horton Tucker, Lovavuka Baro as well. And Taylor and Osmani, they will have another chance. Taylor, as Bill mentioned, has playing recently really good, so maybe it was one game off, and we do believe Osmani might pick up the and get back to his old form. Hazer and Yule are just the fillers from the team, but overall we kept also NDI, the center from Asvel. So overall, we, as you see, most of the players are playing turn one. So our captain is Vezhenkov for turn one. We were thinking between Vezhenkov and Nan. And turn two, it will be Luvavuka Baro if we need to change the captain. Bill, do you want to mention anything?
So we had another alternative that included Milutinov, and that was Milutinov in Nibo's spot, Dorsey in Nan's spot, and Lucic for Taylor. Lucic is actually a very good option with just 9.9 because it really unlocks a lot of potential in the team, as he's quite low value, as you understand. But yeah, in the end, we decided to go on the safe side. Also, we prefer to have Nan and Vezhenkov playing together. Let's see how that goes. As you mentioned, we only have one choice for turn two if anything goes wrong. So hopefully everything goes right. We still have Luvavuka Baro playing a tough game away. And then, yes, Osmani has been not performing as we want lately. So we keep an eye to see if potentially is one of the players that have to be sacrificed. As we mentioned earlier, there are a couple of players at this credit that could actually help us rebuild the team. So we shall see what we do after this first part of the double round week, and you can see more of our choices and options as always in the Real Hoopers Hub. Thanks for watching. Have a great year and see you in the back end of this week.
Yeah, guys, enjoy this double round week and see you soon.